Another game from our Raps that, honestly, I can't be too mad at these guys. There were points during the game, they didn't play very well. On the second night of a back-to-back in Chicago against the playoff-bound Chicago Bulls, DeMar's playing out of his life. Zach LaVine's playing fantastic basketball. They're easily a playoff team this year. On the second night of a back-to-back, but they didn't play yesterday. No Fred VanVleet in the game again. You got Scotty back, but no Fred. And you lose 111-105. And at one point late in the fourth, you were up by 1. They just go on a little bit of a run, and you lose it by 6. With the loss, Raptors now 23-23 on the season. And it hurts because a few different instances in this game, you were down by a lot. And it looked like they might just run this game up and make it look like a disaster. But the Raptors kept fighting. They kept pushing it. Heck, they started the game, I believe, on a 9-0 run or 11-0 run. It was a terrible start to the game. But in that first quarter, the Raptors get it back to 4, and it's a 31-27 after one quarter of play. But in the second quarter, the floodgates open. They start making shots galore. The Raptors have a tough time making shots, and they win the second quarter 36-23, and you're down by 17 at half. They have every opportunity to cave in and call it a day. Then they get it down a little bit, then they get it to 18, right? And it's like, oh, God, this is awful. You're down by 18 in Chicago on the road on the second night of a back-to-back. It looks long over. But the Raps don't quit. And in that third quarter, they ended strong, and they're only down. They actually win the quarter 32-24, and you're down by 9 heading into the fourth. Now, you're down by 9 heading into the fourth on the road in Chicago without Fred. It's going to be tough. And as I mentioned earlier, at one point late in the fourth, the Raptors take a 1-point lead off a slam from OG. But some big-time missed free throws are a huge reason of why this Raptor team lost this game today. In my opinion, that's the reason they lost. No one's going to argue the officiating because Chris Boucher's going to, but my God, in the final 6 minutes, the guy had 3 fouls alone. Got them in the bonus pretty early. We were doing pretty good for the first half of the fourth. Considering that in the dying minutes, they weren't in the bonus. And Boucher fouls 1, 2, 3, and just like that, they're in the bonus. And that really hurts. He takes a 3, misses a 3, and it's just like, man, that really kills us in the fourth quarter because it wasn't just one play, it was 4. But you could argue, you could say Delano Banton going to the free throw line, missing 2, but he obviously wasn't supposed to be in the game at the time. But Gary Trent Jr. getting the double technical, and how you do? Well, he already had a T, so he got the second T, and see you later. And that's tough because Gary Trent had he was probably the most consistent Raptor in the game. Him and OG, offensively at least, he had 32, tied his season best from yesterday. But he got the boot there with like 2 or 3 minutes to go. It was a tight game, and I'm like, you got to bring Delano out. As much as I like Delano, don't really want him out there in a situation like that. And it paid to hurt you because he missed both free throws. Now you get the rebound off the free throw, but then it was OG. Actually, I think that was the Chris Boucher missed 3. So out of all that, you get nothing. And that right there, in my opinion, was the end of this game. And you lose the fourth quarter, you win the fourth quarter 23-20, but your offense can't come through late, and you lose this one, and it's tough. But we talked about it 2 games ago against the Portland Trailblazers. You can't go down a lot in the first half and expect to crawl back, because Raptors won the third and fourth quarter. They won it by 11. Problem, you're down by 17 at half. Right? And look what happened yesterday to Charlotte. You were up by a ton at halftime, or at least in and around what they were up at halftime today. Now, they made the crawl back late, but you were able to hold on. That's why you play a full 48 minutes. You don't just play 24. And Pascal Siakam, I'm going to go through the stats now of the players. Pascal he was your focal point. He had 43 minutes played. And it's wild that he has to play 43. 12 points, 7 boards, 7 assists. Shot 3 of 12. Did struggle with 6 of 9 from the free throw line. Did miss one big one late. And he had 3 steals in the game. Are the Pascal haters back? Oh, probably, because they've been quite quiet lately, so they gotta hop on that train again, but there's really no point in even doing that, because he's been playing ridiculous, and he did have 7 boards and 7 assists, and they were doubling him left and right. So the 12 points and 3 of 12, yeah, there were a few times where he looked like he forced it a little bit, but again, you can't just pass, because that's where then they're going to start playing you that way. But for Pascal, yeah, he did struggle offensively a little bit, but again, he did so many other things to help this team in the game. And the 3 missed free throws, though, those are the things that hurt. Those freebies. You really got to knock those down. And you got to move on to the next one, I guess. For Gary Trent Jr., though, very unfortunate he had to get ejected from this game in the dying 3-4 minutes of this one. 32 points, 1 board, 2 assists, 11 of 22 from the field shot, 50%, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 6 of 10 from three-point range. And you lost him in the dying minutes. OG Anunoby, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 10 of 15. So back-to-back nights for OG for not only being efficient, but just making an impact in so many different ways. 10 of 15 from the field, 3 of 7 from 3, a steal and 2 blocks for the young OG. And he was spectacular again in this one. And Scotty Barnes, look, he was good. He obviously didn't play yesterday because of that thumb, and we talked about it in yesterday's video. This guy's been dealing with this thing all year long, and he's somehow in the talks for Rookie of the Year. It's wild. And today, 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists with a bum thumb. And if you've ever done anything without a thumb, you know you kind of can't do squat. So when your thumb is a real pain in the rear, like in many different ways, that's not terrible. You guys know what I mean. It's very tough. And that's why probably he didn't play yesterday. Don't want to play him on the second night of the back-to-back. Goes out there today, 16, 5, and 7, 6 of 11 from the field, was 4 of 6 from the free throw line, so again, 2 misses there, and 0 of 3 from three-point range, but the 6 of 11 from the field gave you double figures, gave you 5 boards and 7 assists as well. Scotty Barnes, have a night, young fella. Great job. On the road in Chicago on the second night, well, even though he didn't play yesterday, great job for Scotty Barnes. Now, the team overall shot 48% from the field. So not a bad night there, 39% from three-point range, so not a bad night at all in that aspect, but 61% from the free throw line. 17 for 28. You missed 11 free throws in the game. We look back to, you can even look now to some of the great teams in the NBA, and back when the Raptors won the championship, what were they so good at? Shooting those freebies. Getting those freebies. Knocking them down. And this year, I think we can all agree all year long, we've had a few different instances of the game against Phoenix comes to mind, when free throw misses contribute to a loss. Now, a lot of the times, it's 1 point here and there. Yeah, I get that. But when it's piled up like this to 11, and you lost by 6, like even if you still missed 6 free throws, right? You made 5. Hey, it's a 1 point game, and you probably finished this game a lot different, and you never know, right? But even missing 6 free throws is quite a bit, right? So it's a crazy thing. The Raptors, they gotta start getting better at those. Now, is that an overtime thing? I don't know, but that is something they definitely have to get better at for sure. Chicago, 55% from the field. They only shot 27% from 3, but 55% from the field and 75% from the free throw line. I mean, pretty wild stuff. But I just got a Twitter update. William Lou is not pleased about the double technical on Gary Trent Jr. Or not the double tech, but his second tech. And honestly, I get that. I get it. And I'm actually going to talk about that right now. Because the officials, I don't know how many times we've seen it in sports, period. Officials try not to make a stamp on a game, especially late in a tight game. But that right there, it's pretty bad. Now, did Gary Trent Jr. show him up? Yeah. When he's like doing like this right in front of his face, I get it. I mean, he was off to the side, then he hit his arm and he was kind of running off. I get it. But in a tight game with arguably the best player on the court for the Raptors in the game, and you're going to give him the boot. You basically signal the end of the game. It's pretty sad, but again, that doesn't affect the free throw percentage, right? And that's the main reason they lost. So it is what it is. I want to get your guys' thoughts though in the comments below on everything that happened with that scenario and what you feel about it. Minus 11 on the glass, not good. Minus 22 in points in the paint. I believe it was 68-46. That is bad. He got dominated inside. And also, I wanted to bring it up because the whole technical said there were 5 given out today. the 2 to Gary Trent, and 3 to the Chicago Bulls. Like, what the heck? The referee got this on, like, standby or something? I don't know what it was. Wow, I've never seen 5 technicals in a game. It seems quite odd to see that number, but it is what it is. And for Raptor fans, we've seen a lot of these types of losses this season. And I don't know if I'm just getting used to it or starting to work with moral victories, but the boys fought on the second night of a back-to-back, and I can't be mad at them, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You enjoyed the video and did not enjoy the ending to this game, and really most of the game because they were down by quite a bit for most of it. But either way, if you enjoyed the game, smack the like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. If you guys have not done so already, comment down below, or where are we? Instagram link is also down below, so follow up there if you guys have not done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition on Saturday night as they are in Detroit taking on the Red Wings at 7 p.m. looking for the 3rd consecutive win there. And as for the Raptors, they're in Miami, it looks like, on Saturday night, 8 p.m. tip-off there. We'll see if Kyle's in the lineup. Probably not, but we'll see if that happens on Saturday. He's out for personal reasons still. He hasn't played since January 15th, so I have no idea what the deal is there for Kyle Lowry. Either way, the Raptors are in Miami, it looks like, on Saturday night, 8 p.m. tip-off there. And Miami's very good. They've been playing very good. And the Raptors, they've been playing well, just on the wrong side of some tight games. So we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out there on Saturday night. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you guys then.